Good morning, happy Friday. So the day is a rest day. Big day yesterday, double session on the bike, and it just went absolutely incredible. So feeling a bit tired this morning, which is always what happens after a hard session. So going to enjoy the lighter day of the day. Just got an hour on the bike, nice and easy, zone one. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day. So I've just recorded 70 kilos on the scales, which is just incredible. Been trying to get down to 70 kilos because I think that's the weight that I'm probably going to race at potentially, maybe 68 to 70. I knew 70 was a starting point, and got some Zwift races next week, and my goal in May was to get down to 70 kilos for the Zwift races, so we've managed to do that, and this is it. So the nutritional plan today is, obviously it's a rest day, so we're trying to have a wee bit lower calorie. I just eat at maintenance, so if I burn 2,500 calories in a day, I want to eat 2,500 calories in a day. That's how I'm doing it at the moment. And so the day I'll only burn maybe a couple hundred calories on the bike, really easy hour, and so the calories will be about 2.5 today, because I'll burn about total about 2.5, so that is the plan for today. Something else I'm going to be experimenting with today is I'm going to try and do a low carb cycle today. So I've been reading a book recently, do a lot of reading, a lot of education, a lot of learning about cycling, nutrition, just other things that can help me. And a book called Fueling the Cycling Revolution. It's by one of the ex-Team Sky nutritionists, and a lot of the top pros, a lot of these guys, do a lot of low carb rides on their easier days just to help the body become better adapted at burning fat on the bike rather than always having to burn carbs. So I'm going to try that out today. I'm going to go quite low carb today and see how I feel. It'll probably be quite difficult because, you know, I'm used to burning carbs for fuel, but I'm optimistic because I've done a lot of low carb eating and I've done ketogenic diet quite a lot in 2018. So I think I'll be prepared for it, and you know, we'll see how it goes. So my on the bike nutrition today is going to be a wee bit different. So because I'm doing a low carb ride, rather than going out with the 2 bottles made up with the high carb winter training formula, what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to make up a bottle with some whey protein, about 30 grams of that, and so I'm just going to sip on some protein during the ride. So no carb, just protein, fueled with an omelette in the morning, protein omelette, and then some protein on the bike. And this is something that I've read in a book recently, and I know that a lot of the pros do this on their low intensity days, so it's something that I want to start doing and start adapting my body and getting it better at burning fat for fuel rather than always burning carbs. So my low carb breakfast of choice for low carb cycle today is a 3 egg omelette with a wee bit of coconut oil. There we go, look at that. I'm actually quite proud of that. That's probably the best looking omelette I've ever made in my life. Kind of flipped it over today. Usually I just flip it whole, like the whole way over, but today I just done a wee turn. Looking good, son. Well done. Right, breakfast done. Now just going to check Training Peaks and see what is happening there. So, got a call with my coach later today, Espresso Cycle Coaching. Really looking forward to catching up with Gary and see what he's saying, see what the feedback is for the week. Right, so just entering my weight for the day into Training Peaks so my coach can see it, and to write 154 pounds for the first time, 69.8. See, I thought it was 70 kilos, but it's actually 69.8. I'm now under 70 kilos. That's absolutely fantastic. I can remember at the end of last year, November, when I met my coach for the first time, and I was 80 kilos, and I remember really wanting to get down to 70, and so here we are in May 2020, finally under 70 kilos. And 10.3% body fat. I will take that. Right, it's been about an hour after my omelette. I'm just going to go and train now. Don't need to wait as long to let the food process because it's very low carb. In fact, it's not even 1 gram of carbs, so we'll see how it goes today. There we go, that's 30 grams of protein and some water, and when I'm on the bike I'll be drinking for that every 10 minutes, making sure that I'm staying hydrated and I'm taking the protein in. Right, let's go train. Nice and easy one today, 1 hour, active recovery, zone 1. That's it, easy peasy. There we go, nice sweet easy recovery. Right, that was really interesting. So done that low carb, was only drinking protein on the bike, and it actually felt fantastic, felt great. All that low carb stuff I'd done a couple of years ago must still be in there, there's memory for that. So looking forward to doing that more, those low carb rides, and keep getting my body more adapted to burning fat rather than having to need carbs all the time. So I just love that, just in the zone right now, just to really enjoy my cycling. Happy days. So I'm now just about to do a call with my coach, Espresso Cycle Coaching are my coaches. Gary Hand, really looking forward to it. This is genuinely one of my favourite parts of the week. I really look forward to this call, and I just honestly just love it so much. It's so much fun for me. I love speaking with Gary. You know, he's got incredible knowledge, and you know, I love getting the feedback. I love hearing how I'm doing, and I love, you know, planning things out. So really excited for this, and especially when the training's going well and I'm on form. Absolutely loving it.
There he is, champ.
What's happening, mate? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Josh. I'm all good. And how are you, buddy? How are you feeling today?
Mate, I feel absolutely incredible right now.
Like this is how I pedal now.
Mate, 100%. That the high cadence just feels totally natural to me now. I'm being serious. Like, I'm not having to look down at the actual to read it anymore. I've got a good feel of how fast my legs are spinning, and I always know where it's above 90 roughly, and I know once it's getting a bit high above 100 as well. And I think that when it comes to the cadence, like, I think that in all the intervals we've done in the last week, I actually don't think there was one that was under 90. I think there maybe was one or something like that. The cadence has been really, really spot on, and I've worked hard at that. And the most important thing about that, mate, is that it's starting to feel really natural. And when I go out and do these sessions now, I'm not really having to think too much about the cadence. It's becoming more part of my game.
Aye, brilliant. No, the training sessions, Josh, since we last spoke, have all been fantastic, mate.
Something that I've definitely noticed in the last week, which has been a massive thing for me, is that I'll be honest with you and admit that for the first like 2 or 3 weeks of this block, I was just dreading every session. Not because I thought it was a bad session. I knew that's what we should be doing, but I was just finding it so difficult, and I was just like, fuck, man, I really don't want to do this. But I was just doing it. But in the last few days of the last week, definitely, I feel like I've crossed this hump, mate, where it's not to say that any session's easy. There's never an easy interval session. Never in the world, especially yours. But what I would say has changed is that when I started doing the intervals, when my heart rate was up at 170, it just felt like I was dying for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. See now when my heart rate's up at 170 and I'm doing intervals, it's not to say that it's easy, but it's almost like I've spent that much time in my high end recently that I'm starting to feel more comfortable at that place. And I'm actually being excited to go on the bike again. I'm enjoying it. And that session that I done yesterday, the sprints in the morning, the 2040s, I was actually just having a lot of fun, mate, and I was enjoying it. And I feel like, if I think about where I'm at now, as we're almost at the start of a new block, and where I was at the start of that first block, I feel like the growth, mate, if we keep doing this over June, July, August, it's going to be incredible, mate. It's going to be really special.
Definitely. And the fact is, you're doing the sessions, Joe. You can get there. It's just a process. That's all it is. So if you can imagine what you're doing now in training, you're a full-time athlete, so we're grabbing that opportunity with both hands. We're doing double days. We're really pushing you in these sessions. So yes, they are tough, and that weekend I look forward to catch up here in a couple of days, Monday, and then we'll go over these Zwift races, mate. All right?
Aye, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Speak to you soon.
No worries, Josh. Have a great weekend, mate.
Cheers. Bye. Just finished call with my coach, Espresso Cycle Coaching, and as you can probably tell if you watched any of that, whatever bits I put in, just get so fired up in the calls. Honestly, just love it. Just every time I come off a call with my coach, I just feel so fucking fired up, and I just, this is it, man. This is it. Can't he wait to start racing, man. Can't he fucking wait. So there's another day. I didn't film anything after the coaching call, specifically because I just wanted to just try and keep as much of this video focused on the coaching call as possible, because there's just so much in there, and I hope you guys can understand what it's like being coached and just how much I love working with Espresso Cycle Coaching. So thanks to them for all their support, and tomorrow we go again. We keep moving forward.